Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good Thursday morning. Right. A nice intro music to welcome you into a nice Thursday morning with your friends here at Indie. That's us. That's us. We love you. We do. Love for you to buy any comics too. Love for you to be entertained by them. Got a couple questions. Got a real serious one tonight. This morning too. She wrote in before, I believe, and she's writing back in. We're going to talk about that. It's going to be a good show. We got a couple guests. They are not in the green room yet. They have not shown up yet, but when they do, we will be sure to bring them in. But right now, we have one guest here with us right now, Mr. Max Seville, who is here with us. Max, how's it going this morning?
I'm good. I'd be frustrated if I kept pouring all that much coffee into my coffee cup and it didn't fill up. Where's it going?
You'd have to pick the cup up and check the bottom of the table, you know.
Yep.
What's going on here? Why is this happening to me? I gotta say, Max, let me ask you a question. You're a big movie theater fan. Do you like going to the cinema?
Yeah.
Have you joined one of those subscription programs yet for theaters?
AMC has their own little subscription thing, and I'm on that.
Okay. Yeah, me too. I used to be a Movie Pass, and tried them for about a year or so, and it just I remember Lola had a car and I did. We just we could hardly get them to work. Of course, I didn't mind it because it was only $10, you know, like it's all. You know, but the AMC one it's more expensive, but it's
but you get like free movies on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool program, the AMC stuff. So I love going to movies, so I'm a big movie fan. And I was talking to a guy who says, you know, the reason why those programs are a little suspect though is that they sell you those tickets or they sell you that program on the idea that you won't come to the movies because they said, you know, like the gym, like Planet Fitness, $10. Well, people like to go to the movies. They don't like going to the gym.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. There's a big difference. The reason why I brought that up though is because once again, you know, they got another email from someone just asking if our audience would be interested, and even the creators would come on in a type of service that would be, you know, let people read as many comics as they want, for a price. This will all be digitally, of course.
Yeah.
And
Global Comics does that.
Yeah, you know, comics as a service, basically. You know, and everyone seems to dislike this idea. I mean, Webtoon does it. It doesn't cost you anything though.
Yeah.
Not for the basic, you know, look for these comics. But it seems to be unpopular. Yeah, well, Trish in the chat says, "Good morning, all. No pick, only coffee. Just a coffee right now, boy. When we run the intro, we'll come back with our pretty faces. Well, at least Lola and Maxwell. Me going on camera right now is horrible. Ugh, you guys don't want to lose your breakfast. All right, I'm gonna run the intro, and we'll get back and we'll finish talking about this subscription model. Here we go. Greetings, everyone. Hello. My name is Varian Grant. I'm the founder of Indie Vote Media LLC. Started making comics 2008. This is Breakfast Bowl. Breakfast Buzz. Breakfast Bowl. That's a good name for it. Breakfast Bowl. Breakfast Buzz. And we are happy to be here with you this Thursday morning. I'm joined as always by the beautiful Indie Princess. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I'm here.
She looks sleepy.
Well, we have another we had a very rough Tuesday.
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, still has ramifications. So we have to go visit people today. So it's very interesting day. There's one of our guests now in the green room. I'm gonna bring him in 1 second. But Max, Control yourself. I know you get excited very easily.
All right, yeah.
Bring one of our guests in here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by the legendary, some might say. I know I say it. Ben Dillon.
Hello.
Hello,
Ben,
Ben.
what's up?
Good. Doing good.
How are you this morning?
Oh, doing fine.
Cool. I see the Compalooza 2010 shirt on. That's
Yeah. Sorry, it was the closest shirt I could find.
Oh no, that's fine. You know, here's the thing. I remember talking to a guy who did security for a show, and he told me, he says, "Yeah, man, this is my last show. I'm retiring from doing convention security after this." And this guy
Really?
I'd known him for a couple of years, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." He says, "Yeah." He says, "I'm just gonna next time you see me, I'll just be a fan here." And he says, I'm gonna sit at home all day and just wear comic book convention shirts. That's what I'm gonna do. Because he told me, he said over 30 years he collected all these shirts, and I was gonna sit back and wear them all. I can't get my shirts to stay that pristine though, Ben. I can't. I've tried, and they start to fade and everything. It's
My shirts always seem to shrink.
Or we just get larger.
Yeah. Max, tell the world who you are, and then we'll let Ben do the same.
Okay. Well, I'm Max DeVille. I operate Atrocity Press. We put out comics like Mary Machine Gun, Neo Tokyo, Human Hunters, and soon in March we'll kickstart Ninja Bimbos versus Zombies from Deep Space.
That's a mouthful.
Exactly. That's the whole point. And I've already gotten so many messages from people saying, well, I'm going to buy it just because of the name. And I'm like, good. That's exactly what we wanted.
And I think I just found my costume for it.
Awesome.
I messaged it to you, Max.
That's cool. And then
Yep.
Mr.
Work.
Dunn.
Hello.
You don't need an introduction to me, but you know, everyone else, you know, who might be ignorant and morons.
Oh, don't call them that.
These are people of the land.
I've seen some of the emails we get here. There's a lot of morons out there.
My name is Ben Dunn. I am the creator and founder of Antarctic Press. Still in business after 35 years. I also created Ninja High School, Warrior Nun, and the Marvel Mangaverse.
And Exciting Comics 17 just dropped, what, a week or two ago?
Yeah, well, the funny story is that book actually been there for weeks, you know, almost a month, and for some reason Diamond just held on to it for whatever reason. We don't know why.
That's just Diamond.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. It's I won't put him on blast, but I have a friend who's his girlfriend her name is Diamond, and he's in the comics as well, and he's saying I'm always getting screwed over by something called Diamond, whether it's her or that company. I just
well, I mean, you can't really blame them for because all this crazy stuff that's happening. You know, I mean, they lost Marvel, they lost DC. I mean, it was a big hit for them.
Then they had a big hack, didn't they?
Yeah, and they also had hack. I mean, it was not a good start of the year for them. That's for sure.
Yeah. I'm glad you're here, Ben, because one of our first letters that we got is thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. Morning hugs are always nice. We have a question here from well, I don't know. It says it says Charlie, but I'm gonna assume it's a guy, but it could be a female. I'm gonna read this letter gender neutral. But it says here, hello. My partner wants to get into comic books. We've done a lot of research, and we got letters like this before, by the way. We've done a lot of research, and he wants this to be his career going forward. I'm just afraid it's going to be a big, huge, money-wasting event. Any advice on how to get past the 3-year mark and keep doing this? Any help will be appreciated, Charlie. Been 30 years. Because for me, as a publisher of Last Call Comics and the books I put out, it's just stubborn refusal to quit.
That's
Um,
that's a big factor, actually. It is. I mean, being able to simply just produce material, that's the biggest hurdle most creators have. You know, if you're not producing anything, then nobody's going to care. You know, but if you're producing something, you know, hopefully people will find out your work, especially if it's good. You know, that helps too, and build your readership. You know, that's the only way to do it, is one brick at a time, one reader at a time. You just got to keep putting stuff out. If you don't put anything out, then nobody's going to care. You know.
And what are you at? Ninja High School 187 now?
Yeah, I'm actually
That's
on 184 right now.
okay, 184. Then see, there you go. That's a stubborn refusal to quit.
Got a little page right now. See.
All right.
See, that was the thing when people when they were saying, "Hey, you know, the longest running indie comic," I immediately thought, "Well, isn't Ninja High School in the running for that?" 'Cause, I mean, it seems like it's been there.
Well, I mean, Gold Digger is reaching issue 300.
Okay,
And I know that I mean Spawn passed 300, Cerebus reached 300. I mean that seems to be the magic number
yeah.
indie comics, you know. But and you know it's a great testament to creator who can reach that number. It's a huge number, you know. I mean, it's really one of those things that is achievable. I mean, those are trailblazer creators that you know have shown that if you with persistence and with a good product, you can last a long time.
Yeah, like I was in a position after I had after like oh gosh, like 12 years ago when my illness made itself first known, like it wasn't gonna go away. I thought about quitting. You know, there were some other things that were going on too.
Mhm.
And you know, I got convinced not to quit and hang in there. And I'm still here. But uh Max, how close have you ever been close to quitting, hanging it up?
No, I haven't. I mean, I've only been in for since 2018, so it's like what 3 years.
Mhm.
So I haven't really had the chance to have that existential crisis yet.
Yeah, there's something about comics that's in the blood, man. It's just one of those things that it allows people to be creative. It allows people to create worlds with. I mean, you are not limited by budget. You're not limited by. You're only limited by your imagination. You know, it's you can create whole worlds. You create characters. You can tell stories. I mean, there's comics as a visual medium is it's amazing. You know, and I think if you decide you want to get into it, it provides a lot of opportunity. You know, for really talented creators.
See, I like the idea of just making comics for the rest of my life. But you know, people do get scared because they think, okay, well, I'm not making any money. I remember seeing some there was a group of guys at Comic Con, a Wizard World Chicago a couple years ago, and I don't think they did very well because they ended up. I looked over at them at the end of the show when they were standing in the corner together, consoling each other. They were crying because I don't think they made the money they wanted to make. And you know, I was gonna go over there and kind of I wanted to try to reassure them that everything would be okay, but you know, I decided, yeah, I'm gonna let them have their moment. 'Cause,
Stay away from the crying group of people.
yeah. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, it's not an easy path to take. That's for sure. You know, but the thing is that you have to tell yourself you can't. If a project doesn't take off at the beginning, then you shouldn't be discouraged by it because it's certainly one of those things that allow you to learn. You know, from what you can learn from what you've done. You can look at your project and say, well, what is it about this project that didn't hit? You know, with readers or didn't. You know, you should look back about it and say, I'm learning from this mistake, and then I'm going to move forward. You know, I mean, it's like anything of any great venture. You're going to get setbacks. You know, you're going to encounter roadblocks to your destination. You know, so you just got to overcome them. You can't be if you're really serious about wanting to make an impact in comics, you have to be persistent. That's one of the things that a creator really, really has to have if you really want to make a career out of doing comic books.
Mm. Yeah, it's that little bit of insanity, a little bit. We need that.
Yeah, that helps. You have to
Now,
be crazy to want to try to do comics, right?
I remember when I first decided I was gonna, do that. It was scary, but here I am years later and still
But
doing
right
it.
now, there's a perfect it's this is a perfect opportunity for creators because you have crowdfunding sites you can do. You have the web, you got Webtoons. There's a lot of opportunity to not have to go through the big publishers. I mean, 30 years ago, that was the only option you had. You had to either go through a publisher or you had to self-publish yourself. Now you got a lot of venues to get your stuff out there and make some money. I mean,
And
it's
30
really,
years ago, also, you had a whole lot more distribution houses besides just Diamond. I mean, you had like Diamond and then,
yeah. I mean, the direct market exploded back,
yeah,
then. But unfortunately, I think the negative side effect that the publishers abandoned newsstand. And
Mhm.
now where the direct market has been affected by what's been going on the last couple of years, and so now they have to rebuild. They've lost the newsstand opportunity. No one's in the habit of going to a grocery store or a drugstore or whatever to go to that old spinner rack and just buy a comic on the fly. It's no longer available anymore.
Now, I've got a question for you, Ben, and this is from me because us as publishers now, something's wrong with us. As creators now, there's a lot of things wrong with us, like the industry, like a lot of infighting, and I've asked Randy a few times, and we'll be back very soon. How is that any different, or how, like with Arrow, how did he avoid like drama with other companies, other publishers? For example, I know of one publisher that if you work with the other one or have worked for the other one, it's an indie publisher. They won't work with you. They won't hire you for anything. That you can't come over there. How have you avoided those all those drama storms? Not that you haven't had any, but I mean, how do you avoid them?
We just keep our mouth shut. The thing is that once you put it out there, it's there forever. So you have to be very careful what you're saying. I like to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care what your opinions are. I really, to be honest, for me personally, I don't care. If you can produce a really worthwhile comic book and you want to send it to me, I'll take a look at it. I won't ask you, who you voted for. I don't care, what gender you are. I don't care what. All I care about is, can you produce a good comic book? That's the only thing I'm concerned about. And if the guy happens to be, or the guy or gal the creator happens to be, a very nice, positive individual, that helps too. There's one of those three rules of being successful. You have to be really talented, you have to be very professional, or you have to be a really nice person. Any two of those three will probably get you ahead in this profession. And when things started to get, when that whole Comicsgate thing started with Richard Meyer, the first thing that the AP said was to not make any comment. Don't say anything. Don't say a word. Because we knew that that was only going to cause problems. It's only going to cause ill feeling. And I don't like to see this kind of drama happen in the industry because we don't need it. It's really, I think, detrimental to the whole aspect of being able to do comics. I mean, comics are supposed to be able to unite people, not divide them. And it seems to me why you should always look at your own backyard first before you comment on other people's works. You know, you just look what Marvel and DC are doing. Just let them do what they're doing. That's their prerogative. You know, that's their right to do. If you don't like it, you know, that's totally up to you to decide whether you want to buy it or support them.
Yeah, well, Marvel's DC, they're just shooting holes in the hull of their boat right now, so they can keep doing that all they want. They can go down.
If they can't see for themselves what they're doing to themselves, but the problem is they have corporations with very deep pockets, so they can it's a pretty big boat. It's going to take a long time to sink.
Yeah.
I know that I'm gonna bring the site up too. Again, you know, very long time fan Arctic Press. Let me see where there it is. And I'm at the store right now, the Antarctic Press. You can find it, folks, at antarctic-press.myshopify.com. And it's a quick place to come buy all the books. I mean, you can come get them all from right here at the site. They've got some collector's editions. They're huge Gold Digger collected editions, hardcovers.
Yeah, it's the thing is the thing is you may produce something, it may not be successful, but you have it, you produced it. You know, you may come back to it years later and say, you know what, you know, I'm going to re-release this and see if you know, once you've made a name for yourself, once you get people to know who your story and characters are, you can go back and reprint it or release it. You know, because you know, once you produce something, it's theirs. It's yours. It's 100% yours. You have it. You can do whatever you want with it forever until, you know, whenever. And that's the good thing about being able to produce something, because, you know, once you put something on pen and paper and it's done, then and you own it, you can do whatever you want with it forever. You know, and that's the beauty of just getting things done.
Is the punchlines here?
Punchline's good stuff. That's good.
Yeah, he's Matt Weldon, and he's awesome on that book.
Catch it one.
That's a manga that we do with Kobayashi Motofumi. It's a furry version of the Vietnam War.
Oh, it's adorable death.
It's pretty good, actually. You know,
are they pretty? Let me see here. No, you got to buy the book, but damn it, now I got to. Mr. Dunn, why have you done this to me? Now I have to buy this.
It's only $3.99.
And that's the point. That's what we want. And there's more, dude. You can go over here. Folks need to go over there now. And there's more stuff. You even got art books over here, how-to books, free guides, original art, apparel.
Well, we know that as a small publisher, it would be foolish for us to try to compete with, you know, Marvel and DC. I mean, it's been tried and by multiple publishers and has failed. We figure that, you know, we're a small publisher. We create niche. We try to satisfy niche markets. We try to satisfy our particular brand, and we try to also give you know, independent creators an opportunity to get in comic stores, you know, and get their product out there. You know, there's still some use for small publishers, you know, I think, and then we just try to do the best we can.
You've certainly built up a lot of content over the years. And speaking of over the years, someone who's lived over those years as well, Mr. Glenn Fleming is on this.
Hey.
Hi, everybody. You okay?
How's it going, guy?
Yeah. Ben, just a quick question. What was that? Who did the typeface on that Cat Shit 1 book? It's really good. The layout on that.
That's
really
probably
nice.
Brian Denham. He's the guy he's an art director. He does most of the logos and the layouts and stuff like that. So
That's really great. I love that. It's fantastic.
Yeah. He's a very talented guy. I've known him forever. You know, he used to work for Marvel,
Right.
and now he's working for us.
Good. Anyway, how's the rest of you guys? I've not seen you for ages. Darian, are you all right?
Oh yeah,
we're
we're great. We're as well as can be expected, all things considered.
Yeah. Well, I just got over COVID myself, so I know how people feel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Not
good.
as bad as
You're
not
okay?
as bad as yeah, I'm okay. Not as bad as Randy and people like that, and you know, but it was like heavy flu, really bad flu.
Yeah, it affects people different ways,
Yeah,
We're all
they
snowflakes.
obviously got Randy really badly, and
Yeah. I got a chance to go see Randy again last week, and
Right.
he's doing much better. Expecting to be home February 2nd. So
yeah.
So
So
he had a hamburger and some tater tots.
Yeah.
We're all ills.
yeah, he was happy about that. So
Yeah.
I told him, I said, when you walk in, you gotta sign up. So now the kiosk knows my name now. So when I type in my information, it's like, "Are you here to see Randy Zimmerman?" And I'm like, "What if I'm not? What if I'm not? What if I'm here to see someone else?" But he's in a very very nice place, and he's definitely getting better. He's definitely gotten better.
Well, good.
So we're happy to have that.
We're all hoping for his immediate recovery.
Yeah. Now I got Rags, the trade paperback, from you, from Antarctic Press. I ordered it, got it in the mail. That's when I realized, to my horror, that it was edited. And I said, no, but that's fine, because I have a habit of leaving books out when my 11-year-old could get to them. And I'm like,
Well, we figured that if you want to get the unadulterated version, you can just get that version from the creator himself.
And that's cool that you allow that. You still allow the creator to sell their books.
We are very pro creator. We want them to make as much money as they humanly can, and that's we try to do everything we can to promote it and to make people aware of their series.
And everybody's over here now. I mean, like, not everyone, but like, Came in America, Rags, Niobe's over here, Cash It One, Walmart, Gold Digger. I feel like I need to do a cover or something. I got something.
We would love to have one.
Yeah.
Always looking for it. I edit four anthology titles, and I'm always looking for covers, man.
There we go. I'll be in touch, Ben. I'll be in touch. I'll see you. So I got to get something out there so I can pump my chest out too.
Well, don't expect to get rich off of us.
No. I've long given up that dream of getting rich in this industry.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, the thing about it really is it is possible Patriotica is one of those books that did really, really well for us and to the creator. Rags was also another book that did really well for us and for the creator. So it's not an impossibility to be successful. And the good thing about it is that they still do their own crowdfunding projects. They still do their own Patreon things. It doesn't really seem to affect the sales to the comic book stores. To a lot of these creators, being able to sell their book to the comic store is pretty much just like gravy, extra source of income for them, because the book's already done. You've already, and for the most part, most creators have their books already been funded or been paid for. So anything that we get is basically just the icing on top.
Right. It's that's really cool. Now, I was looking at the names. It's like a who's who of names up there on the side. I'm not up there. I gotta do something.
We've been around for a long time.
You've been around for 35 years. You collect some titles.
Yeah. And again, I mean, Antarctic Press. I can. They've been around for years. I've got a bunch of books from Antarctic Press. And it's funny. Another thing that I noticed is that I'll get a book and I'll read it and I won't even notice the Antarctic Press published it. That's how sneaky Ben has gotten. It's like, hey, what? Oh, okay. But they're all quality books. They're all, and when I get them, they're all shipped to me in very nice packaging. So I can't, I can't hate. They take good care of their books when they package them, like we all should be doing.
Well, good.
You know how you can do it?
Yeah.
You know how you can do it, Max? You know what you can use?
I can use Volt 10 when I order my Gemini mailers.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I love it, Max. I love it. And you too can save money on Gemini mailers by using code VOLT10, VOLT10, at the Gemini Comic Supply website. It's GeminiComicSupply.com. Enter VOLT10 and get a 10% discount on your entire order. Good stuff. Good stuff. And you can use that. You can use that code over and over again. Not just once. You can keep using it.
I don't think they're going to do that for me, though, are they? In England,
No, you no. We've
You're losing
already
scale, but make it up in volume.
yeah. I'm gonna talk to Brian about what we can do for our international audience because he recognizes that it's expensive to send those books or those boxes overseas. So maybe we can.
Not much point in sending them to me when I'm going to send them all back to the States, is there really?
I've seen that happen though. I've gotten Gemini mailers from overseas, and it's like this book. And the really weird thing is, they used to when they started Gemini, they started it in the same city I was in Troy, Michigan, and they've since moved. But it's weird. Like, oh, this box went all the way from Troy, Michigan, overseas just to come back to Troy, Michigan. To me, it's very weird. Again, Antarctic Press, you guys can go check out the website. Again, at antarctic-press.myshopify.com. There's a lot of stuff up there. I mean, collections, single issue books. Just get a whole bunch. This make Mr. Dunn work. Like, put a bunch of packages together. He doesn't mind.
Oh, I don't handle any of that stuff. We have guys who handle that stuff.
Yeah, see, he's like, I don't.
Buy them up. I don't care. I don't touch them.
And Ben's gonna hang out with us for a while because we got some more questions. I got another one here. So, guys, this one is a serious question. I talked about. I said we're gonna have a serious question this morning, and it's from Perry, Perri, and Perry wrote in, and I wanted to give this question a bit of room to breathe. So, because it's kind of serious. And this is what she writes. My husband has been an artist since he was born. Naturally, he decided he wanted to make comics, but he has been struggling to get any type of traction in the industry for over 25 years. Apex Comics says, hell been done. Hell. So the problem is, she says, the problem is he is starting now to deflect his failure to make it in the industry on his family, me and his children, our children. Is there anything I can do to help him understand that we aren't the problem and maybe he's just not making the right connections? And do any of you have this problem with your artistic husbands or creative husbands blaming you for shortcomings? So that, again, very serious question there. Listen,
it sounds to me like it's the husband, one of those things where it's just like, well, it can't be my fault, so it has to be whoever's around me's fault.
Yeah, everybody else's fault. Yeah.
Well, if there's actual marital strife, I would definitely recommend getting some counseling of some sort. But as far as a person, as far as a creator who's been in the business for 25 years, and still hasn't made it, then you have to realize that maybe you're doing something wrong. Maybe what you have is not connecting with. The thing is, the question you have to ask is he wanting to create something on his own, or is he wanting to work with other people? Okay, that's the biggest question you have to ask.
That'd be number one.
Right. You have to decide, do I want to get a steady job working at a publisher, or do I want to create something on my own? Working with a publisher, of course, gives you a steady paycheck. It gives you work. Okay. But for the most part, they're just going to eat you up and spit you out. Okay. Once your usefulness has come to an end.
Draw this exactly this way. I mean, you don't get it. There's not much creativity involved when you work for a publisher.
Well, the idea.
Hey, I'm a publisher.
The idea back in the day was for creators to work on a high value IP, make a name for himself, and then hopefully parlay that into something later on. The unfortunate thing is that it's very, very difficult road to travel. Okay. Because you're at the whim of the publisher. He decides what books you're going to work on. Now, the other road to take is, of course, create your own. That's more risky. Okay. But, there are new venues. You don't have to worry about going to a publisher. You can go do a Kickstarter. You can do Indiegogo. You could try Webtoons. I mean, there are several venues that you can go to. You could also try some of the smaller publishers. They may be willing to pick up your series, where the other two, the big two, probably would not. And that also affords you the ability to get your name out there and your product known. So the first question I would ask the creator, this husband, is what is it that you want to achieve? Okay, what is it that you're wanting to do? And if he can't give you a straight answer, then I don't know what else to tell you. It's just one of those things that maybe he needs to find another line of work.
Or sit down and really think about what he wants.
Absolutely.
Out of being an artist.
John, that hurts. He says you're either a creator or a wrist. So that's what I'm gonna start calling artists who don't create anything. Look at it, wrist. bunch of wrist over there.
Well, there's some artists who are fantastic artists, but they don't tell a story. They do art because people hire them. Okay, and that's fine. If you can make a living of your art is good enough for people to want to pay you to get it done, then fantastic. Okay, but in the end, and people make a good living off of that. I mean, Alex Ross is a good example of that. All he does is covers, and he makes a very good living doing that. But then you look at somebody like, Jeff Smith or Fred Perry or who created, Stan Sakai, who's done stuff and created their own work, and to me, they're finding a whole different kind of success. And they're getting they own the creations they have, so they have the flexibility to take it to like a streaming service and have it developed into a TV show, and they can build up their audience any way they feel like.
Just like Warrior Nun Ariella.
Warrior Nun, exactly.
Doesn't it depend on whether this guy is meeting standards though? Yeah,
I mean. It just depends on what he wants to do. It seems to me he's frustrated that he hasn't. It sounds to me, I don't know the guy, but it sounds to me that he's frustrated that after 25 years, he's not well known, and have accolades in people are not being down his door to get him to do work, But the thing is that I mean. I have to question whether or not he's even serious about wanting to do it after 25 years. If you haven't made it by then you have to seriously question, your path in life.
Then you got to question, like, what is he doing? Is he doing, like you said, is he just doing covers? Is he doing pen-up work? I mean, does he do sequentials?
What's he trying to do? What's his long-term goal?
I would love to give him some advice, but I can't because all I do is win. I don't know what it's like to. I'm just gonna.
Everyone loves the winner, right?
Well, I always wanted to walk on the moon, but it didn't take me long to figure out that it wasn't going to happen.
But you've done everything else, climbed Everest and everything. So that's.
Well, are you crazy?
I want to walk on the moon. Like I said, it's not going to happen, is it? I've been wanting to do that since I was 14. And
would going into space at least be a replacement? Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. Yeah, I'd go now if I could. Drop of a hat. Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I'd love to do that. I don't see it happening because I don't have a spare $300,000.
Yeah. It's just one of those things that you just put some money in a jar for every time you cuss.
I'd be really, really rich if I did that.
You got to have the money to put in the jar to begin with, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Can we get the Indie Princess advice? Indie Princess, yeah. I mean, as a you're a wife. Do you how do you handle this? Is all your fault.
Okay, first off, I apologize. I was making some stickers. But what was the question?
Oh my goodness, you didn't even listen. So the question is, we
I
have
said I apologize.
we have a lady writing in, and her husband has been trying to break into comics for 25 years. He's been able to do so. He is starting to blame his family. Like, if
Okay.
this, it's your fault. If I had more time, I could, that type of stuff. I'm guessing.
That's an excuse.
It's
And
weird
blaming her.
because
Okay, you make time. When I met you, you were already doing comics. I knew nothing about comics whatsoever. But I learned. I was like, all right, this is what you do. Let me see if I like it. And I do. So, yeah. But that's an excuse. You make the time. If you're serious about what you want to do, you make the time no matter what. And you let your family know, hey, I need this amount of time every day or every week or whatever. And you do it. Obviously, he's doing something wrong. If it's taken him 25 years and nothing is a hit, obviously the public doesn't like what he's putting out.
Yeah, I mean,
And
we
he
could always just throw around the fact that he could just suck.
Yeah, I mean, or he could stop. But I mean, if this is what he wants to do and this is what he likes, maybe try something different. Try a genre that you haven't tried before. Get other people's opinions. Hey, what do you like?
I'll be honest with you, Lola. There have been people who like I was drawing some art for a person once, and they had another artist in their ear. I could do better than that. I could do better than that. I'm like, oh, okay. So I drew a character to her specifications, and I gave it to her, and she liked it. But then the next day, she messaged me, and she's like, "Hey, my friend who's an artist says this looks like Black Knight." And I'm like, I don't see how that character was anything like Black Knight, like anything like Marvel's Black Knight at all. But okay, I'll take another swing at it. And so I said, by the way, what artist said this? I just like to, I don't want to get anything started. Okay, fine, whatever. Well, I found out what artist said it. And the guy is he's been a lot like the person who wrote this letter in, like their husband. The guy's been trying to make it in the comics for a while, and I'm not gonna embarrass him on air, but he might want to hang it up because it's just not there. The talent isn't there. I'm not being a dick. It's just not there. It's no one's gonna have him draw their books or want to read that because of the drawing. The drawing is so poor.
I mean, that could be the case too. I mean, I don't know. Can you email us some of the art so I can give an opinion?
Yeah.
I would like to see some of the samples of what is doing. So
cranking out for 25 years.
Does he go to like conventions and stuff to get other people's opinion on his work? I mean, you're telling me that if he started at 25, he's 50 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Maybe he's not improved.
Yeah, I mean, if he hasn't made it by then there's seriously something wrong with his approach. There could be any one of those. He has probably missing two of those three factors that make you a success. Either he's not talented or not professional or a real jerk. If he can't improve at least one other aspect of his work, then I don't see how the path could be laid clear for him to succeed now.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely got to be a jerk if you're blaming your family because you can't break into comics, and he's definitely not professional. If you're blaming your family,
you have to look at yourself. You can't blame others for your failures. You have to decide for yourself. Maybe this is not for me. This is not the path I need to take.
Maybe it's time to take an anatomy class.
It's a hard can be a hard truth. You
I
know,
mean, we
for a
can't
lot of
blame-
people.
So
Yeah,
I
But they
just
spend all this time and effort to try to make a success in a career that they've always wanted to be in. And it's just like anything else in life, you know. I mean, how many actors and actresses that have tried to make it, you know, on the stage? I mean, anything, you can apply that to anything, you know, really, that is of the arts, because it's really highly competitive, you know, and and you have to be able to stand out.
yeah, I just dropped in to say exactly what Ben just said, so I can drop the mic and go now.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
was.
Ben and Max absolutely nailed it. So you
Hello?
know, it's-
Don't need. It's like Russ
hear
has
me?
popped in. He's like, oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Why am I here now?
Yeah, no, yeah. I agree. Now, it's also what Eric Hodson, Dreaded Dinosaur, says. Sometimes you just have an ugly baby, and you got to get rid of that. You know, you got to do something
Can you
else.
hear
What was that? Oh, I'm sorry. Thought I heard something. So yeah, it's one of those things you have to worry about when you're doing comics. Oh, I see. I got a message. 1 second.
I think Ben's sound's gone.
Oh, is it? No. We can hear you, Ben.
Yeah.
Writing us a letter.
yeah, we can hear the pen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh, you
right.
can't hear us.
Yeah. We can hear you.
We can say all those things then now, can't we?
Let's see. Okay.
What are you up to, Russ? What are you doing there? I haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, well, I'm very, very, very busy.
I know. What are you doing?
I'm doing some secret stuff.
Tell us all that stuff that you couldn't
Do
tell us last time I
secrets.
saw you.
I can't tell you.
What, even now? It's 4 months ago.
It's you'll find out in March.
Did everyone see my special announcement that I dropped last night?
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up in a minute. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, you can just say it.
I was there.
Oh, well, I'm not even going to show the graphic, but I did put a lot of work into that graphic. Guano Guy is invading Shocker Comics, and he is the first person I signed.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah. And she kept
Mark
a secret
Garden.
from me.
Yeah.
She kept a secret from me because she didn't want me to come in there and
Right.
steal them.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. She just kept a secret from me. She didn't tell me anything. I see how she is. Ben, can you hear us yet? Why not? I think
No.
if he's on a phone, if they called him, he might have to sign out and sign back in. Lola, could you message him? There it is.
Come back in.
And she said there was a campaign she was doing. Yeah, there we go. And I haven't forgotten any of these campaigns because there is a campaign up right now there it is. All right. Oh,
You hear us now?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
All
okay,
right.
me too. Yeah. Good.
Sorry
the
about
current. Now, Russ, did you want to get out of here? I know that you just popped in. Did you want to get
No,
out of here? You can say if you want.
I'll stick around for a little while. I was going to answer that question, but Ben and Max just laid it down. There was nothing for me to add to any of that. It's brilliant.
Here
I've
we
got
go.
10 minutes and then I got to go run because I got to go help my kid log into school. For
that. You know, it's I don't know if you're still talking about that guy, 25 years, but you know, it's interesting, as I'm sure as publishers, you get solicited all the time by creators who are wanting to have their books published by you guys, and it's always inevitably seems to be that they feel like the first thing they do out of the gate should be a huge success,
Mhm.
be immediately should have immediate monetary success. And you know, I hate to break it, for the most part, if you're just starting out, it's not going to happen, you know, right overnight. You know, I mean, it can. I'm not saying it's not impossible, but it's really just all about the hard work.
Mm.
I think one of the biggest drawbacks for creators is just laziness. You know, you just don't want to do it.
Ain't that the truth?
That's the trouble with the arty types. They're not great at business most of the time. That's a generalization. Doesn't mean all arty types are like that, but it does come over that way, and the amount of stories I've heard from publishers, writers about flaky artists. Unfortunately, it happens. So if you apply yourself, exactly what Ben was saying about professionalism, and about the most important thing about any brief is to get it done on time. It's like it's things like that. Really make sure that you conduct yourself properly and that you push yourself. And exactly like Max was saying, go get some anatomy classes. Go find out how to improve yourself all the time.
Yeah.
Never be satisfied with what you are. Always want to push on what you've got.
Yeah.
Be proud of what you've done. Look back at what you have done and see the good in it. Don't be hypercritical, but at the same time, be your own critic. Push yourself forward. Get better all the time. Because after 25 years, all right, there's no guarantee after 25 years hitting your head against the industry wall you're going to be some kind of John Buscema or Brian Bolland or anything like that. There's no guarantees. Okay, but you should have at least made some inroads.
Yeah.
Something should have happened, even if it's only your own book. Just 25 years is a long time. So seriously, check what you're doing, rather than check what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, it's down to application, isn't it? You've got to go in open-eyed, wide-eyed open, because after 25 years, I mean, come on,
Yeah.
So he's not going to, like you said about Brian Bolland and people like that. They were very good at drawing really early on, but they have improved, because we all improve the more you do things, whatever you're doing. I think you can spread it to life in general as well. It's about opportunities, and if everybody has the same opportunities, and if you don't take them, then you won't achieve anything. You have to you have to focus and move into it and be pig-headed enough to get it done.
Honestly, there's no excuse, to be honest, because you have crowdfunding now. Okay, and that is, to me, the ultimate expression of capitalism, for creators. Okay, because people will support your project. Okay, if they like it, you set a goal of how much you think you can get, and if people like your project, they will support you with money. And that will show you whether you're on the right path or not with what you're doing.
Speaking of getting support with money, we got to support Max. He hasn't launched yet, but it's Ninja Bimbos versus Zombies from Deep Space.
I love that.
What a segue! What a segue!
Yeah, I'm getting better at him every day.
You're a professional, Varian.
Well, he's very trying, isn't he? Let's put it that way.
And guys, that girl in the corner with her booty out. I'm cosplaying as her.
Oh man!
Wow.
This is the kind of stuff that would be like, if it was in the 80s, they'd make a movie right off the bat.
Exactly. That's what we were when we were coming up with it, we're like, what's the most B movie title we could think of?
Didn't you be
Man, if Roger Corman was still around, he probably would option that right off the bat.
Canon Pictures. Here, you want some money?
And that's the thing, is that there aren't that many studios doing that kind of stuff anymore. It's like, you would think that there'd be a lot of opportunities for stuff like that these days.
Ross, you just became Ross.
It's
It's been called worse. It's been called
very
a lot
dare
worse,
you. Yes, I have been called a lot worse, and I have to say it's probably quite truthful as well.
My screen, I got some of the pages.
Oh, look,
here.
that's nice.
Wow, nice.
That is amazing.
I was giving Max hell about this page the other day, live. Max said he had told him, what was it, Max, that you wanted like a seedy area, drug deals, pimping.
Yep.
And I'm looking at the panel and I'm like, so you asked for a seedy area of pimping and drug dealing going down now. I kind of noticed that, the artist, he skewed a little dark there, didn't he? You didn't say make them all people of color, but damn it if he didn't. I love it.
It's
I
great.
like the Huggy Bear look on the pimp, where you can definitely tell who he was.
The colors on there are amazing, by the way. So this is how Ninja Bimbo starts. It's they're in the
they're in the strip club. I've got it covered up because the devil heads will not be there in the final book.
Unless there's a horrible printing accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the introduction to all the characters. You've got Donna, and then the one that Krista's
beautiful.
gonna cosplay is, and then we've got Leah and Micah and Alexis. And the one that she's gonna cosplay is called, her name is Rachel.
Yeah, you need to send that in to me, man.
I'll send it in for sure.
Yeah.
Ninja bimbos. Now, I personally,
This is
you
all
told a story about them. Oh, that's right. They're trying to get in the closet and trying to stop the gas from coming in.
Oh, they're going into the bathroom. They go into the bathroom trying to stop the gas, and they're pushing the towels, the wet towels, against the bottom of the door, thinking that's going to stop it, and then the gas just starts coming in through all the rest of the cracks around the other three around the door. This is where the news is telling them that it's no big deal, don't worry about it, and then more incoming, and then it happens.
And I love this panel.
That's great panel, man.
Yeah, the colors on here are amazing. I love the colors.
Yeah, Adam Ramos is the guy who does the colors, and he is a fantastic colorist. As soon as I saw the first colors come through, I was like, holy crap, this guy's good.
Yeah, that man a raise.
And there's all that. Those are the beginning pages, and then I do have, just for some later on, so you can see some gore.
Jeez, you bit her face off.
Gotta get that R rating.
Yeah. Oh, she's dead. No.
But these girls they're no chumps. I mean, this girl breaks the cuckoo and takes them out. So
I'll teach him to skip out on the tip.
Girl power.
yeah, gotta have it.
And this book is damn near finished, correct? Is it not finished?
We have 15 pages of lettering left, and then it'll be done.
Very cool.
And then I want to show you guys something.
And then your sign up page is available right now. So, and Lola, you can show that too. But your sign up page, you can go over to Kickstarter, Ninja Bimbos versus Zombies from Deep Space, and sign up for that on Kickstarter to launch. And Lola,
Not your ordinary kind of zombie, the deep space kind of zombie.
Yeah. Zombie.
I already got Max's approval, so this is what I'll be wearing. There you go.
Whoa. Nice.
It's
Some of those memory demons.
it's
like that.
Cosplaying. I can't do it. There are no short fat.
It will
black
be my
characters.
first cosplay ever.
I could be like a racial bit pup, maybe, or maybe Wolverine.
Clown?
I mean,
Black clown from Spawn.
I'm that every day. So I'm that every day.
Well, I'm excited though because it's my first cosplay ever.
It'll
So
be fun. You'll have a good time.
Yeah. And speaking of cosplayers, we've been joined by Kara Nicole, who's more than a cosplayer. She's a creator, artist, musician, politician. Even you've done it all.
Real Renaissance man.
Oh, we're a Renaissance woman. We can't hear you. Can we? I don't think I hear your voice yet. No. Nope, you're muted.
Yeah, you're muted somehow.
Yeah, I think she's
That's
muted.
not good for radio. Not good for radio.
Yeah, she. Lola message her, let her know she's muted. We can't hear her.
No.
We can't hear
Cara.
Kara's voice.
Oh,
It
I'm wondering if
hurts.
it's a StreamYard thing.
I'm not sure because she's. Let's see here. I can't do anything on this side to fix it.
No.
No, just glitch. I just mean
Wait.
glitching. Just
It doesn't show her muted, so
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, Cam mic settings might be where it's at. She might have to go in there and move her
Oh.
stuff around. Yeah. So Max, I know you said you got to get out here. You got to have to keep the kids log into school.
Yep.
Where can people find you at if they want to stalk you before that book comes out?
You can drop by atrocitypress.com and check out all our old books and our community site, which is kind of like a stripped down version of Facebook, where we don't restrict your speech nor your reach. It's the new thing we're doing. We're trying out. Hopefully it'll become cool. Online on social media is at Mary Machine Gun. Anything in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I don't have a TikTok because I'm a boomer.
I don't do dancing.
And I gotta add Max for comic book stores. If they want to get a hold of your book, they can go to you, or they can go to Liberty.
They can go to Liberty, ledgu.us. Sign up for Liberty. Get in there. My books are available in Liberty distribution. You can get them in your LCS. Sell some Mary Machine Gun. That'll be where it's at. That's our pilot, our big. Our largest property at this point in time is Mary Machine Gun by far.
Flagship property. There it is.
Yeah, flagship property. But this Ninja Bimbo's book, we've gotten a lot of people that have messaged me saying, I want this book. I want this book. I want this book. I'm like, well, give me time. It'll come out and you can buy the book.
No, we want it now. Stop what you're doing.
I want it now.
If you want it now and it's your fault we can't get it.
Yeah.
Blame everybody else like the other guy.
Hey, I got a letter from a guy who says that an email. I didn't read it because I didn't put it on air because he says he thinks that all books need to be finished, 100% finished, printed, done before you go to crowdfunding with them. Like in your hands, printed and done. That way, all you're trying to do is get stretch goals done.
Well, a lot of people use the crowdfunding just to cover the printing. That's what we do. I pay for everything up front except for printing, and the crowdfunding is used to print the books.
I think the clue is in the name, crowdfunding.
Yeah.
Those platforms started off to fund a project that you convinced people that you were good enough to produce and that could be produced. That's what crowdfunding is about. If you want to make a book and put it up on a store, then fine. I don't have an issue. I mean, my next book, my third book, it's very likely that I'll have it finished before I go to crowdfunding because that's what I want to do. But I can't say that I would want to force everybody to do that or that I would not trust people. That's what crowdfunding is for. So it's easy to, because everybody's used crowdfunding or a lot of people have used crowdfunding so far, to kind of expect that it's just, well, that's what the standard is now. We've used it so many times. People are used to it. Oh, well, it's a store. No, it's not. It's crowdfunding. So I think it's restrictive to start effectively not cancelling people, but putting sort of like social rules or business rules and saying, oh, well, you shouldn't be using it to do that. You should always do this. No, crowdfunding is the clue is in the name. But if people want to create books and put them up there before they go to crowdfunding, excellent, brilliant, well done. But don't look down on those creators that use crowdfunding as crowdfunding.
Apex says, Max, is Kara Nicole in your book?
No, she's not. We could use her though if I could talk to her, but she has no microphone.
No, I switched. That's why I left. I got off my.
Okay, cool. Well, I do have to run right now, but I'll contact you, Kara, through Facebook.
Sure.
If you'd want to be interested in doing one of them, maybe.
Well, you can always hit me up.
Yep. All right. Cool.
All right.
It's nice to meet you, Glenn. Nice to meet you, Russ.
See you,
Good to see you.
Max.
Cheers, mate. Good luck with the book.
Yeah,
See ya. Good luck with the zombies.
Peace.
I have to run too as well. So
Okay. We're going to talk about your campaign while you're. We'll talk about your campaign while you're not here. Because you got a campaign up as well. You're with Girls in Ninja High School Volume 1. And you can leave, but we're going to talk about it. So and get it hopefully get you a couple more dollars in there.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Mr.
guys
Dunn, for
take
stopping
care,
by.
man.
See you, Ben.
All right, bye-bye.
Cheers, Ben.
You play the video.
Hot, hot, hot! Go, go, go! Yeah, yeah, yeah! to my pretty school. You cannot see classmates. We can do super communication. You are gonna not be for summer vacation.
God, that was loud. I'm getting old.
Yeah, to turn my volume down a bit as well.
That's the Girls of Ninja High School Volume 1 collection. Never before collected stories based on the Girls of Ninja High School. And I used to have a bunch of Ninja High School books. Projects We Love, they got that already. They're fully funded. And the book should have no problem getting to you. I mean, it's from Antarctic Press, so it's not going to not get to you. It's going to show up. Really cool stuff. I mean, it goes back to, I mean, look at the old logo there. Look at that. The old good stuff. Folks, the link to that is in the chat. You know, everyone here knows Ninja High School by now. Come on, go over there and get it. Sign up. Click the little green button right there on Kickstarter. We've been joined by Miss Kara Nicole, who we've wanted to get her back on the show for quite some time. Hell, the chat. Hello. Hell, Kara, how are you?
Hi. Sorry, it's been a weird morning. I thought it was supposed to be at nighttime. I didn't know it was supposed to be in the morning. I like just woke up. I'm like, get my coffee, and I'm like,
you know,
so I look like I just rolled out of bed. This is still my bed.
I forgot stand-up comic too in your introduction. I'm sorry, I forgot that too, because I always remember that you're a comedian too, and then I forgot.
COVID, it's been a lot more sitting down comic.
So how have you been?
I have been just weird, you know. It's I live in Arizona, right? So it's cold, but it's not cold. Like compared to you guys, everyone out there's like, oh, it's -4 out there, and I'm like, I'm so cold. It's 38.
You better stop bitching, Kev. It's like negative in the negatives here.
Now, remember, when you live down here long enough, your blood starts to thin.
Yeah.
Like, I am like a zombie's, like a moose bouge, okay? I would think that vampires should live in warmer climates because it makes the blood flow like a little bit smoother. It's a little bit softer.
And then that thick northern.
Yes, we don't want that viscous blood, you know, from up you northerners where you're very thick-blooded.
Yeah.
Maybe that's gonna be maybe that's the next book. The thick bloods versus the thin bloods.
Well, technically, I would be thin-blooded because I am anemic.
Yeah, that's why you need to move to Arizona, man. It'll help to thin it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
A fellow Arizonian, we freeze so fast here. We are desert rats. Desert rats.
We have a little problem here in Arizona, because especially down here in the city, it's really interesting. People thought, let's put up all these orange trees. They'll be so pretty. Well, they made sure that they were what are called decorative oranges. So they taste like crap. And so you can't eat them. But instead of putting up trees where homeless people and stuff can go collect the fruit and actually eat it, they just put these decoratives up there because they didn't want homeless people eating them. Well, something's going to eat them. And those things that are going to eat them, they are called rats.
It's just such a, hey, let's put up a tree that can't grow actual fruit. You know, someone designed that. Some scientist in a lab designed that. And he's like,
Oh, it's fruit. It's just terrible tasting fruit. And so the rats eat them and the homeless people don't. But I guess all you Richies are keeping all the homeless people out of your neighborhood. You're just infested with rats instead. Isn't that kind of how they dealt? Isn't that kind of what happened with the plague? Like back in the day, it's like all the Richie rich were like, hey, we want to be in a snooty area. And now we have disease instead.
That's an interesting theory.
I would see. I feed the neighborhood cats. There's some people there's a lot of like cats that run around here. So I'll eat cat food out, and my neighbor hates it, but I do it because there are like a bunch of big fields, like
Yeah.
and I'm like, no rats, man. I want
Let
those
the
cats
cat
here to
eat rats.
yeah.
That's the way it works.
Yeah, like
Don't
I'll
feed
keep
them.
those.
Don't give the food to the cats. Let the cats eat the rats.
No, I need them by my house so that if the rats come down, the cats
Yeah.
will be like,
The cats
hey.
are.
If the rats come down in a
I-
swathe,
I
in a
just don't like the
huge
fact that
army
the-
of rats come to
I
get you.
don't like the fact that the cats. I think the cats are like mafia members because they like leave the dead rats on my porch or something like a gift. They put them on like the patio table. I go outside and look at that.
Well, so these rats though that we have, they're not like, oh look, have you ever held a rat before? Look, I'm so edgy because I'm petting a rat. No, these are rats. These are like rats. Like these rats will mess you up. And it gets even better because the people can't get the rats and they're like, it's a rat. And they don't want the cats. So they complain about that and they relocate them and they poison them and stuff. But the coyotes have started coming into town because the coyotes are getting hungry. And they're like jumping over people's fences and like snatching old people's dogs and stuff. There's a coyote, took my dog. Yeah, we're getting a lot of that. And the javelina are coming into town.
The what?
Because these animals have no food. So the javelina are coming in.
What's a javelina?
What's a javelina?
A javelina is like a weird wild boar. So there's these wild boar kind of things, and they're terrorizing trailer parks in Tucson.
I'll tell you what, Arizona's changed a lot since I was there.
But they're coming into town. They're like hanging out outside of apartment complexes and stuff. So you got these javelina like waiting out by your car while you're trying to take your kid to school. And the thing is, so they're like, you call the state, like, hey, there's javelina. Oh, that's their natural habitat. I didn't realize this apartment complex is their natural friggin' habitat. The javelina, we don't want to take them away from their pool. Where's my cabana my cabana javelina over here? What the shit? And nobody wants to eat them because they don't taste good. I'm like, well, you can always like barbecue, but they're very gamey because they're like I said, like a wild boar.
Ew. Yeah. I would. That's great. I am running a sad ticker though. Jean-Claude Mizrahi, the French comic artist for Valerian and Laureline, has died at the age of 83.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Was just informed by Randy that he passed away. So yeah. Valerian, also a name I've been called. Because people just can't say Varian. They refuse. They refuse to say my name correctly. The Ovarian, I got called Ovarian for years.
Oh, you did not. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wrong people.
It doesn't help when you put it spell it wrong on your
Oh my thing, yeah, that's because I was called Varian McGrant, and I'm like, that's a dot, not a C. Why would anybody be named McGrant?
Well, that's your Scottish ancestry, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd love to see you in a kilt, mate.
Yeah, no, I don't have the legs for it.
Yeah.
We look. I get ashy a lot, and you guys be laughing at my ashy ass knees. And look, what's that? Have you been
Russ,
crawling around in flour?
Russ, imagine him being chased in his kilt by wild boars or whatever,
in Arizona,
or whatever they're called.
Being chased by
On a trip to Arizona.
Be like a rat up Varian's kilt.
That'd be horrible. Oh my goodness.
Oh dear. Cara, what have you got in that jar you keep drinking?
Coffee.
What is it? Oh, right.
It's coffee.
Okay. Have you got enough?
Coffee.
This is a smaller jar, by the way. Okay, I used to have a bigger jar.
Are you planning on being up for about 4 weeks after drinking that?
I wish I could. Yeah, no, I used to have a much bigger jar.
Right.
It's just easy. So it's like I make coffee and then I dump half of it into my jar with ice and then I have another chunk of coffee left. So I just put it in a jar and I put it in the fridge.
Fair enough. That's fair
You
enough.
put a straw in there,
Now, when you go to cons, do you walk in with those big jugs of coffee, or
No.
Care, do you
When I go
walk
to
in with
cons, I
those
just use
big
energy
jugs?
drinks instead.
Care, you always walk in with big jugs. What are you talking about?
Boom.
Me and you. What are you talking about?
Nah.
All right, here we go. So now this is Kara. This is your new project, Unstable Frequencies. It's a horror comic.
It is a horror comic.
I'm going to play the video here.
Oh, awesome.
Why, hello. I am your hostess, and you will be filling my dreams with your screams. What is a horror story, if not our darkest fears and fantasies brought oh so close to life? Welcome to my world, where the frequency is unstable. And do be warned, if you go on, you may very well find yourself past the point of no return. I bring you 4 beautifully illustrated stories of a world not unlike our own. Terrors invade the lives of Ruth, Michelle, Dee Dee, and Natalia as they cross over the singularity into the world of unstable frequencies. The poignant and sexy art in these individual stories will fill your minds with dread and haunt your very being. Maverick artists have reached into their darkness and brilliancy to bring you this beautiful nightmare, while cosplay options will overwhelm you with their allure. We all deserve a little extra, and truly chilling stretch goals will be your reward for crossing the threshold into the land of torment and dread. Decorate your dwelling, ravishing scream queens from the pages of our Book of Shadows. Join me and cradle the fatal, where the frequency is unstable.
Very nice, very nice. Now you no, that's the second character that you played, I believe. Like the other one was the well, this one is the hostess, kind of the horror hostess.
So
And
the
and
one
other
right there,
Hmm?
her name is Natalia.
Okay. And let me scroll down here real quick. There we go.
That is the hostess.
Mhm.
And she's like our crypt keeper, or our oh, what's that guy's name that was the host of Rob probably-
Sterling.
no, that's
no.
yeah, Sterling. Yes, Rob Sterling. And we
Certainly.
introduced her in Fire Bitch, actually.
She certainly is flexible. I like the fact that the logo is actually there in the flame, and you guys always hide the logo, so that's cool. It's hidden, but it's a little like Easter egg. You got to find a little logo.
Mm-hmm. Fine little guy.
So how that was this book finished, or is it ready to go, or you got any pages left?
Oh yeah. Well, we're having a different artist do each book.
Hmm.
So this is 4 stories. It's an anthology. We've got 4 stories, and each story is being drawn and colored by different artists. So the one you've got up right now is Michelle and the Blackbird Down Under. And that is the story of a girl whose mother was killed for her work. And so this is a murder mystery, and she has to make it through the night and try to uncover the secret that her mom was hiding, that she died for. It's got like a supernatural twist as well. So that one was drawn by Ariel Medell. who is working on Evil Ernie, and colored by Miriam Yasser. And I saw her colors and I really liked her watercolor style, and I was like, I really want that in that book. So that's what we did with that one. And that one is regarding Ruth, and it is about a young woman in the early 1900s in upstate New York. And she is an amputee and she's missing her legs. So she has been placed into a mental institution because that's what they would do with people in those situations back then.
That guy that know with the mustache looks nefarious.
Yes. Well, that's her psychiatrist, so he's pretty nefarious. But this one is being drawn by JT Malloy, and I'm doing the colors myself on that one. And then this one is Natalia y Selva de Terror, and that is the story of a girl, a rich raver girl who is going to a party in the Colombian jungle. And everything goes really, really bad, and she has to try to make it through the night. And it's a zombie story.
I know, Kara. I'm looking at this second page over here with the girl running, and behind her looks to be beasties hiding in the bushes. Those look a lot like werewolves. Are they?
No, they're not werewolves.
Are you
They're dogs.
sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. They're not werewolves. That one was drawn by Alfred Lay and colored by Hedwin Zaldivar, who's working on it right now.
I mean, I get this book and I see werewolves, I'm gonna be triggered.
No werewolves.
And then
so that's for the digital.
Okay.
Oh, and then actually we have one more story, but I think you passed it before I started talking about the girls. There you go, that one. So that one is Dee Dee and the Dwelling of the Dead. And CB Zane's doing the interiors on that one. And I'm loving his style. I really, really am. He's a fantastic storyteller and able to really follow along very easily. And I love the way that he stacks his layers. It's fantastic. Like just on a technical level, people don't think about those things, about how your artist draws, whether it's digital, whether it's traditional, all that sort of stuff. So we got a lot of different styles of art in this book because I wanted the art to match the story. And, you know, these are all very different. So her story takes place in Colorado about 10 years into our future. And it's a ghost story. She's a psychic and a death doula. And a death doula is an actual job. I do know people who have, done this job and went to school for this. And that's how I learned about it. My friend actually is a professional psychic, and she was telling me all about it from her class. And I was like, this is a really cool concept. So yeah, I did a story about a ghost story about a psychic who helps dead people or people that are dying to be able to cross over once they pass.
See that's pretty cool. I remember I was looking at a documentary and I had these scientists a long time ago. They were trying to figure out the weight of the human soul. So they would get people close to death and put them on these weighted beds, and they would pass away. They said that the meters, the scales would adjust. And they said it's the soul leaving the body. And then they had that one scientist back. Maybe it's just gas. Maybe it's just, but it's something to be said for it. I mean, I've experienced some stuff that I can't explain. So who knows? Who knows? If I come
that
back,
may well have been gas as well, Varian.
Yeah. Hey, if I can come back, I'm coming back, and I'm haunting my ass off. Let me tell you, it's gonna be great.
See, normally the classic is that the ghost wanders around with no head, but you're going to wander around with no ass.
No ass. No, you know what? Here's the problem. I've been, I like every year, Lola and I will just jump head first into like haunted horror stuff, and we'll watch a lot of these, supposed house huntings and everything. And I always tell her, I'm like, Lola, I think the afterlife might be racist. And she's like, why? And I'm like, because there's never any black ghost. Like all the ghosts that come back, they're cowboys,
Romans.
Yeah. Like, you mean to tell me there's not one angry slave? There's not one that would have been like, I'm back, and so that's gonna be me. I'm gonna be the first black ghost. That's my.
Maybe all the black.
Your
people
goal in life is to be the first black ghost.
That's it.
That's hilarious.
Maybe all the black spirits go to heaven.
Yeah,
I guess my goal in the afterlife.
Won't as a ghost, won't you be rather pale?
You know what? I got
going to be like not really worth it.
I got a feeling it's gonna be. I got a feeling it's gonna be worse. I might get darker. When I'm a ghost. You're a shadow person.
You look like that guy on the Amiga Man with Charlton Heston.
Yeah, I'll be.
Oh yeah.
I'll be a shadow person now.
That's hilarious.
I mean, now, so this is the main cover. 4 stories main cover. 40
yes,
plus
that's
pages.
the main cover, and that's going to be our bigger book that has all the 4 stories in it, as well as additional content. And every order gets a digital copy as well. So one of the things we did on this campaign, because we have so many cover options, is you can do a build your own pack. So what you pay for is the box. You pay for shipping, not the box, but you pay for the shipping cost, the box and everything. And then you can just go and it opens up into add-ons. And then you just add on whatever you want.
Ah, okay. So it's really a la carte at that point.
Yeah, well, it's just the one tier. We do have some other tiers, but we do have an a la carte tier. But that is the main book, where you can get additional content. Then you've got the Shikari, the Heavenly Hostess set, where you can get the lingerie and the nude and the main dress. And these are going to be more comic book style. You do get all 4 stories, but we're taking out the additional content in order to keep it into a floppy. We're also offering an inks only for that one as well. So that lingerie one in the middle is inks only, so you don't have all those pesky words in the way.
That's pretty cool. And it's 3 different ones. That's $120 for that one. So 3 book set.
But you can get each book individually. So if you just want the inks added on, you can just add it on to whatever you order for.
That's pretty cool. We got the cosplay variant here.
Yep, the cosplay variant. That's going to be the same way as the Shikari, minus the additional content, but it will have all the stories in it. And then we have the nude variant as well.
Good morning, Sarah.
Sarah in the house. We got any roof, so this is the cover.
So that's called Fun House. And you can see there's a scary teddy bear there, and you've got our girl Ruth. She's actually the one that we do not have any topless covers of. I also did not cosplay her. And that's for her own safety. Poor Ruth. Ruth is, like I said, she's in an institution, and she had a supernatural experience, and I'm super excited to be working with JT on it because he knows how to really bring the grit, and that's what I wanted for that story. That was actually one of my first stories that I had ideas for this book. And it was a really interesting turnaround. It's like, okay, so this is what I want to do. Okay, so this is how everyone's going to know exactly what happened when the thing starts. Okay, so what do I do to rearrange this? And so I went into a lot of different directions, had a great time trying to really bring that out and take it to the next level.
Yeah, it looks cool. And there's a lot of cosplay options in here. A lot of different covers. You weren't lying when you said there's a lot of different cover options. Is this the most you've done? I don't think so. Maybe.
Fire Bitch probably has more.
Okay.
If you count that we have multiple issues, we've got extra sales, that sort of thing. So that's an Alfred Trujillo cover. So you can see we've got our Naughty Nice sets available. but you can add on anything you want. You could also do the a la carte and just get certain ones. Plus, we have other tiers as well.
There's a lot. This one here, who did this?
So Trevor Grace did that with Alfred Trujillo colors, and that is the Adam Hughes homage. And I thought that would be perfect because she is in an institution, and this is the hostess. So the hostess can kind of fit in other places as well because, well, we can't do that to Ruth because she's, you know.
Yeah, she's
she's a nice girl, and we don't like. I just couldn't abuse her anymore.
You don't have the problem that I don't know if you guys ever seen that movie Precious, but
I have not seen the movie Precious, but I need to. I hear very good things.
If you want to be depressed afterwards, yeah, it is a master class. And you know how they say, oh, writers who really love their characters take them through a lot. If I was this character, there are bridges. Okay. Like, oh, obviously life has turned on me. So like there's a one point where you're like, just give up. Just watch it. Watch it, let me know what you think.
Sad. I didn't realize it was so like I didn't realize it was that depressing.
Oh man, it's like God has a magnifying glass and she's an ant.
Oh, that's so sad.
Sugar Chris in the house. Hello, Sugar. I want to talk to you later, sir. And get opportunity to talk
Sugar.
to you. You got a lot of different covers. Now she is in the wheelchair here, but she's not it's not Ruth. So
right, it's not Ruth. And it was actually interesting because we did have some concerns about, cancel culture and that sort of thing. And let me tell you, I have a group on Tuesday nights for my Patreon, and we watch movies and we hang out and talk. And there's a guy, and he is an amputee, and he was thrilled that we had this cover, and he was so excited for it because he's like, hey, I got representation,
Yeah. I mean, I had to draw a wheelchair. And, oh gosh, it was in an old book I did. And I was like, never again. Or I'm gonna start designing. I see Professor X has a little floaty chair now. Somebody didn't want to draw a wheelchair. That's what that was.
Yeah, but I would expect that. I would expect that from from the X-Men. Like, you've got all this technology, and here you are like
well,
like Professor X must have like Carrot Top's arms. I have to use my arms because if I use my mental telepathy abilities to roll my wheelchair, then I won't have the strength to fight against Magneto,
Now this one here is the Thicky Thick cover. That's what I'm calling it.
Yeah.
It says,
that was Vanilla Bee, and that was Alfred's colors on that one.
I like the expressions that Vanilla Bee does on it. Is that pretty cool?
Mm-hmm.
The facial expressions, that pretty cool. And that's the one on the cover. Up top. That's the video image. Jay Ferguson.
Yes, that's Jay Ferguson, man. He's so good. So good. I mean, he is just amazing. Really love that guy's work.
I like the colors on this one too. See, there's so many. That's how you do it, Carrie. You do all these covers. You can't figure out which one you want, so you just buy them all.
Yeah, there you go.
Is there a tier to buy them all?
Yes, there is. There's a couple of tiers. So some of these, like the Vanilla Bee cover and the Headwind cover, some of them are just add-ons. Mm-hmm. So we've got the main book covers, and that's an Ale Borgabello. But we've got our VIP where you get all the main books. But then we also have a producer pack where you get everything, every single thing. So you get add-ons, you get expansion goals, you get all of it.
More cosplay covers.
Yep, I got some cosplay for everything.
I mean, there's a lot in this campaign, folks. I mean, like, you got to go over here and examine it yourself. The spicy and sweet covers. So some Super
Yep,
nice.
we did spicy sweet because a lot of times people don't like the words naughty nice, so we don't have those words now. Yay.
That's me sending the red dress, sugar.
So this is our Michelle story. Like I said, the one that's in Australia in the 1980s.
Yeah, since the 80s earrings, because I've gone through my I've when I was a teenager, I remember looking through my mother's jewelry stand, huge jewelry stand, and I remember seeing all these like old like earrings from like the 80s, and they were all triangles and stuff was upside down. I'm like, what is this stuff? Triangles and hard edges, abstract stuff.
You know, Alfred designed that, and that's a really good point. I didn't even think about that, but you're right.
Yeah, a lot of triangles, and I don't like when I watch TV and they show the 80s and they tell my kid that the 80s is all neon and stuff. It was not. The 80s was very brown. Like, I remember this being like everything was wood grain, and like it was weird. Like, okay,
At the start of the 80s it was, but by the end of the 80s it was all black plastic.
well, yeah. Like, at the start, like, I was born in '82, so what I remember was like I remember those McDonald's ashtrays that were like brown, and like you could smoke at McDonald's.
Yeah, you could smoke everywhere back then.
Yeah, smoke in the hospital holding your kid. Yeah,
the kid's got one as well.
Yeah.
Doctor's saying, good, have a smoke. It's good for you.
Yeah.
Calms you
Just,
down.
I'm just off to check out my bank account.
So I actually just got this like message like late last night or something that I saw this morning about like Camel is giving away little pouches for your cigarettes for the environment or something. So I'm Googling this, and they're talking about how, you know, Camels was preferred by doctors. They had tests saying that it wasn't the smoking that was causing you to cough. It was pollution in the air and not having menthol in your cigarettes.
Well, I mean,
oh dear.
Menthol cigarettes is very popular with African Americans.
Make everything legal, and at least then you can tax it.
Yeah.
Yes, then you can tax it.
I don't know what making everything.
Make everything legal. Make all the drugs, make all the cigarettes, make all the alcohol, make the whole lot legal. Just make the whole lot legal, and then put it into the health industry through taxes. And then there you go. Nobody has to worry anymore. If you want to mess yourself up, off you go.
I can't do it, sir. I can't do it. Listen, you got to send crackheads to jail, and you got to send meth heads to jail. You got to. You just can't. You can't get rid of them. You can't talk them down. You got to send them to jail.
Why'd you send them? Hold on. Well, you only send them to jail if they do something wrong. You can't just send them for taking meth.
Look. Yeah, you can.
No, it's their own body. If they want to mess it up, let them mess it up.
This guy is hired. I got. This is why
if
I know I'd
they do
be
something
bad.
wrong, if they do something naughty, then yes. Sorry, I used the word naughty. If they're bad meth head, then they need to go to prison.
I'm like
just send everybody to prison.
Yeah,
I'm like Batman. Just keep putting them back in Arkham. Just
Glenn's
not working.
Got it right. We're all boomers. Have it. Get yourself in the prison. Get back in the pie.
Kara, was it hard writing a story set in the 80s? Like you can't pull out you can't pull out the flip phone or the smartphone?
Yeah, so I had to take all those things into consideration, and it was more that it was in Australia as opposed to the 80s, because being in a different country, they have different slang than we do. They have different words for things. You want to make sure that your streets are right. In other countries, they don't like necessarily drive the way we do. We want to make sure license plates on cars are their license plates, not ours.
Yeah. And you got to look at how they looked in the 80s, if there was any difference. You know, sometimes I just give up caring, because like I have a book that's set the beginning starts in the 80s, and I go back and I looked at how stuff looked, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not drawing that.
Just put shoulder pads and perms on everyone. It'll be fine.
Oh yeah, shoulder pads, man. Shoulder pads are huge.
But don't forget that everybody in the 80s who was naked looks pretty similar to what they look like today.
Yeah, there's not a lot in it.
There's not a lot of change there.
I don't know.
Naked is naked. Like the 80s
and
doesn't
ghosts,
make any difference.
And ghosts look the same as well. And they still weren't black in the 80s.
Yeah, It's still mostly white ghosts in the 80s.
I like this one. This one, she's got the Australian flag. She's flying in.
Yeah, that's our heavy metal homage.
Mm-hmm.
That's super, super cool because, you know, heavy metal from the 80s. And I found this artist and I was like, I want this. So, yeah, but we're going to have her hold the Australian flag instead of a sword, you know?
That's cool. There we go. Here we go. This is
That's Alfred's.
I was like, you see the ghost pulling her in now. Those ghosts are
they're carrying her, you know. She's so this is at the ghost the ghost concert, and the ghosts are carrying her. Like, that was a really bad joke.
It's ghost, or that's a very aggressive chalkboard.
Maybe it is a very aggressive chalkboard. I don't kink shame you, Varian.
You don't. I like this one too. This one, with the ghost behind. This is a movie poster. This should be a movie poster right here. That's how I imagine. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Who now? I can't pronounce the name of that one. Is that Gorov?
Yeah, I can't either. It's like Gorov. I don't want to butcher it.
Yeah. Oh, now here we go. This is the this is the
CB Zane.
I was gonna call it the LGBT cover, but it could be considered that. It's sweet and spicy. I think I want the spicy with this one.
Yeah.
I'm a pervert.
You are not a pervert.
Yeah,
you're
not
a pervert. You're a professional pervert.
That's right. I don't get caught. Sweet and spicy covers again. More cosplay. And
as long as you pay taxes, you're all good.
Now, whose hand was that? Was that Alfred or was that?
That's nobody's
hand. Wasn't there in the picture? Uh-oh. Ghost really
we
showed
could
up?
actually find a real ghost, you know.
Yeah.
Give him SAG wages.
Yeah, I was going to ask about those because they're hard to work with.
They really are. Very, very demanding.
Yeah.
They only have clear M&Ms.
I mean, so much stuff in this. There's the bundle packs, folks. Go over there and check out this campaign. It's on Kickstarter. And you know, Kara's going to fund. She has not missed a campaign yet. $45,310 of a $2,000 goal. So she's crushed it. She's let me look at that number. She's got 8 days to go, but you need to get in on this so you can be a part of that number. Let's get her to 50,000. Kara, what's your goal? I mean, what's your
my goal was actually 800 backers. I really want people to read these books. It's not just about the covers. The covers are great and wonderful collector's items, and it's a great way to hold on to a piece of comic book history, but this is a really interesting campaign the way we're doing it. You've got your main book that has all 4 stories, but then the variant covers are just the story that it is. So the CB Zane cover is only for Dwelling of the Dead. So that's what's going to be inside that book. So those variant covers are all story based and on those stories only. So you're going to get more of your traditional floppy comic book. So it's a great collector's piece, but they're good stories. They're based in different times of the world, different places in the world, different time periods. They don't connect, and Fire Bitch is not going to be in it.
Yeah. See, I keep waiting for Fire Bitch to show up. So folks, this is Unstable Frequencies. The link to this campaign is in the chat, in the chat and in the description of this video.
I apologize. I did not have time to put it in the description today.
We'll add it.
But it is in the chat.
And I'll add it. Yeah. I'll add it after video.
I basically woke up, made a graphic, made the room, and I'm like, okay, we're good.
I understand. I got you, girl.
And got the kid ready for school. So
Unstable Frequencies you got 8 days, folks. So we're gonna I'll make sure that the link is in there, but it is in the chat. I do got a question from Indie Vote Radio for you guys. And I'm sure that Kara's been doing some drawings. She does some art tours on Fire Bitch. She's gonna be doing some art stuff on Unstable Frequencies. So she's definitely able to answer this, and I'm sure Alfred will have a fit too when he hears this. Listen to this, folks. This is from Keon, and Keon says there's a hierarchy to comic book art. The very best artists get promoted to just doing covers and pinups, like J. Scott Campbell, where sequentials are for the lower tier artists.
Leave J. Scott alone.
Well, no, he's saying J. Scott Campbell is great.
Yeah, but he can do more than pinups.
J. Scott Campbell.
Don't say anything bad. Watch your words.
J.
Watch your
Scott
words.
J.
I'm
Scott
gonna
Campbell
boot you.
is of such a value that he doesn't need to do interiors.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean he's been promoted. It just means he's got to a point in his career where he's so valuable as an artist that he can make just as much money by doing, or even more money by doing covers.
Same as Alex Ross.
Yeah, same as Alex Ross.
And
In
Bolland.
fact, probably Alex Ross, it's very difficult to afford to pay Alex Ross to do interiors.
Yeah.
Because it's a very expensive process, because the art is fantastic, it takes time. And the problem we have is that the comic book industry has changed over time. The whole point of the comic book industry was it was pulp. Okay, it was people getting regular story content out to readers, and the art was, I mean, some of the greatest art done was done at speed and was done with such skill, and they weren't there to make the best piece of art in the world.
No.
Okay, they were there to tell stories, and things have changed. I mean, the 90s basically did most of the damage on that, with having big splash pages and what have you, and it was more about the art than it was about the story. Don't get me wrong, I love 90s comics, but that is an issue, and to suggest that people are being promoted to covers because they're the best artists, I'm afraid is technically wrong. Okay, they may be not promoted. They may be getting the cover art because it's actually quite valuable to them, because they've proven themselves to be fantastic sequential artists, but they're not getting promoted to it. Okay, that's not the way it works.
Yeah, because like basically, Keon just says here at the end of his letter, the idea is to start doing sequentials until you are promoted to a cover artist, where you'll make more and be seen more.
But you'll only be seen more as a cover artist.
Yeah.
You won't be seen more as there is a difference between you can go and get some of the finest illustrators on the planet, okay, far better artists than I am, to do really, really good covers, okay, but they could well not be able to do the sequential art that I can.
They can't tell a story.
They can't tell a story, and that's what comics are. They're telling stories. Okay, that's what the really important aspect of comics is. Okay, it's the best storytelling medium ever. Okay, it's better than films. It's better than books, because it's everything all in one place. So you've got to be careful how you approach that. I like to see an interior artist do the cover. So there you go. Because I like to see what I'm going to get inside.
Pop says the art on cover A should represent the inside. The variants are for the premier artist.
I got a bone to pick with Pops.
He says the interior artist should always get the A cover so fans will see what is actually inside. And Trish says most well-known artists charge a lot for interiors. And to be honest, we creators don't have that kind of money. We only have money for a cover.
Well, that's the different argument. I'm afraid you can't mix the two arguments.
That's why the early artists were so good, like Kirby and Ditko and Buscema. These people were just fantastic artists, and they produced fantastic interiors as well as fantastic covers. And now it seems if you're breaking away just to do covers, maybe you can't do sequential very well.
Well, I know that there are some artists that just go for cover, and again, please, this discussion, please don't ever think that it's me putting down cover artists.
No, we're not putting down anybody. We're just saying that
it's just a matter of fact. There are lots of people that want to just do cover art. Great, good on them. But that's not the way I see comics. But then I'm Gen X, so don't listen to me.
I mean, when it comes to me, I think that the interior artist should do the first cover, and then have your backup covers if you want different covers from different artists. But everyone should be able to get a cover done by the cover artist, or by the interior artist. I'm sorry.
I think the artist should get the whole book.
Yeah, but then if you want different covers, you can go to these other people for
I don't see a problem with variant covers at all. It's not something I would do, because I like to keep things as simple as possible for my own little brain. But I do appreciate why other people do variant covers, and I can see the attraction of them. But yeah, I think really a cover should the first cover should show what's going on inside.
Yeah.
And as to Trish's argument about most well-known artists charge a lot for interiors, yeah, I mean the problem is with comics is and with the medium in general is that the value of people's work time has gone down and down and down. You know, it's hard work doing a comic book page. If you're fortunate, you can maybe get a couple out a day, but most people are working roughly around the 1 page day mark. You want to be able to make a wage out of that, which may have something to do with our person earlier who's saying 25 years and not being able to break into what they want to do. Maybe their idea of what they should be earning is out of kilter with what's actually going on. So it's difficult all round. And obviously you want the best artist you can afford. Of course you do.
Pops, I sent you an evil message. You're supposed to be helping me with these damn bots.
Let me ask Kara, the variant queen. What are not vagrant queen, variant queen? That's her new name. We're gonna start calling her that. What's your feelings on that?
I think it really depends. I think that people do put a lot on the art, and there is a lot to the art. Interior art is its own thing. You can be a good cover artist. You can be a good painter. You can be a good illustrator. You can be a good colorist, but it's different than telling a story. It's the difference between having an idea and writing the story. Does that make sense? So there are people out there that are like, I'm a great writer. No, you're a terrible writer. You had a good idea that a actual good writer put down on the page. You also have very good writers who don't have very good ideas. So your interior artist is drawing a story, and they're not just drawing what you say, because let me tell you, there are many writers that do not know how to format a comic book. Comics are like their own entity. And the more you delve into it, the more you can see specialties within each point of it. Being an interior artist is not being a cover artist. It is completely different. It is a whole different line. It's like saying I can drive a car, but can I drive a school bus? Can I drive, a diesel truck? No, not necessarily. Does that mean that your diesel truck driver is going to be like the best regular car driver? No, it's all different. Lettering is a specialty, coloring, flatting, inking, page layout. So your interior artist, like, their job is to tell a good story. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to have an art style that is pinup. Does that make sense? It's completely different. Drawing a pinup, you're creating one art piece that gives the reader the idea of your story. And it's done very differently. There are a lot of interior artists where it's like, bro, bodies don't move like that. That's weird. That you wouldn't want on a cover, but it works for the story.
You can extend things. I mean, you can exaggerate in order to make the story move forward. And I think a lot of the time with the book that you're doing, because there's multiple stories in, kind of lends itself to the multiple covers as well. So it's a different approach to having just like one story, one interior artist, and then wanting to see that artist on the front cover.
Right.
It's different thing. But you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Well, and okay, so in my book, and it's interesting, it's like, so why does the interior artist have to have a cover? And I understand the whole, I want to see what I'm going to get on the inside, but it really is still very, very different when Alfred draws the cover versus the interiors. But okay, so in my case, like, Alfred and I wrote this book, and he has covers on the book, and I have covers on the book. Well, but we're the writers. So why don't we say, why does the writer have a cover? What about your colorist? Does your colorist get a cover too?
I would say, from a specific point of view, the book that you have has multiple stories in it. So it's absolutely right that you should see multiple variant covers. I think that's a good idea, because it gives it's adding to the variation, which is exactly the kind of book it is. It's got lots of variation to it. But I think if you have a particular artist that's billed, okay, so you're actually selling off the back of an artist doing a specific book, then you'd want to see them on the cover.
Well,
so
that's
if I'm
what
going
I'm saying.
to buy a Jim Lee book, I want a Jim Lee cover on it.
Yeah.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
what about
that's
colorists?
different to what you're doing. Well, colorists are colorists. I don't need to see their art. They're coloring. It's not to put colorists down. They're incredible. A lot of them are fantastic artists in their own right, but that's not why I've bought the book. I bought the book because it's got Jim Lee drawing the sequential art.
Kara's dogs disagree.
It really depends. Like Jim Lee is very different from just, somebody who's an up and comer. But I do think though that interior art it's a whole different thing, and it's actually harder, I think, to be an interior artist than a pinup artist.
Yeah, don't forget though.
I would agree with that.
it's the covers is going to make the person pick it up off the shelf if they, So it's a different. It's like you said, it's a different thing, but it's just as important. All the elements of it, coloring, lettering, art, writing, they're all as important as each other to create the whole. Because if you don't like the cover, you're not going to pick it up and look at and see the fantastic interior art. So you've got to be careful. You've got to be careful because as Russ said, if he sees a who was it you said, a Jim Lee book, what's the point of having me draw the cover?
Yeah,
he's not going to pick it up. Well,
but at the same time, I think it comes down to looking through your book, Kara, you've got fantastic art right the way through. You've got variable artists, different styles, and you've got lots of variant covers that are all excellent quality. And so it's not an issue. Okay. But when you go to a cover that's spectacularly drawn by a beautifully brilliant artist who's done a pin-up, and then you look inside and the sequentials are dog awful, that's an extreme disappointment.
You don't want this. You obviously never want your sequentials to look awful. You don't want them to look bad. That's not what we're going for at all. But you can have good artists doing different things. So, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, so JT Malloy doesn't have a cover. I was lucky to get him on sequentials, and it's not like I feel was really suited for that particular story because of his art style. So, you know what I mean?
But if he was doing if he did all of the interiors, I'd quite like to see a cover by that person.
Yeah.
If they were doing all the interiors, if they're just doing a portion and you've got other artists, then it's not a problem not to have all of them do variants and to get other people in to do variants. I don't have any issue with that. And what you're doing is fantastic. It's a great showcase for so many different artists, including yourself. But if I was going to go out and buy a book where I had like one artist who and it's actually billed, I'm almost being sold on that one artist being the interior artist, then that's when I'd really like to see the cover by that artist. So I suppose I'm being very specific about that, but obviously a lot of floppies out there doing that. Yeah.
And there are people that agree with you and want that, and and then there's people that don't care. So I mean, I'm kind of like, do what you want to for your project. Like, I would never tell anybody that they can't do something that they didn't want to, or that they, it's you can kind of do what you want.
That's the one thing that has happened over the last 10 years is the democratization of the comic book industry, which is wonderful. People are getting out there and doing their own thing, making their own stuff, crowdfunding. I mean, you're doing, brilliantly, great guns on crowdfunding. And it's just such a great window on so many creative people, and they're getting their opportunities to get out there and make it happen.
Randy wrote in.
Again, you go straight back to that guy we were talking about before, about 25 years. He can go out there and make it happen for himself.
Yeah.
He can go do it. Don't blame other people. Don't expect other people to do this for you. Get out there and do it.
Randy's wrote in and he's watching, and he said to me, please ask Keon if he's there for a quick buck and fleeting notoriety, or is he there to tell a story and make a real mark on the industry? Variant covers are fleeting. Just slap the damn book and pray for a return on your investment. He's got a good one. That's from Randy. Folks, we are at our closing hour. But Amy Chibi wants to ask something. Go ahead, Amy. Excuse me, can I ask something? Sure. And she's over on Twitch. So yeah, let's look at Pop says, I know I can get a good cover artist. I need to get samples of the consecutive art to show these fans what's inside on the sign-up page. The sequentials are, yeah. Let's see here. A cover artist or 5, tons of great artists out there, and always do what is fun for you and hopefully fun for your fans. And Amy, she says, if you had all met as children, they would have gotten along. Absolutely not. Yeah. I'm not sure that Glenn and Russ have ever been children. And they're British. They've never been children. And they were born grown.
We were born whole and total from the universal mother.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, because I was a weird kid, man. I stayed to myself. I read books. I was very was kind of introverted until like I discovered acting. Then I came out of my shell. And now I haven't shut up. Yeah, I'm not sure if I would. I know I wouldn't get along with Lola at all. No, she's god awful now. Pop says I would have been bullying Varian on the schoolyard. Russ would have said, "Yeah, there it is."
I don't know.
Yeah. Folks, where can you be found at? We'll start with Russ. Russ, where can you be found at, sir?
Oh yeah, you can find me at russleach.com. There you go. All my links are there. You can find me on YouTube as Comic Book Black Belt, where I do videos about my process and my art. And you can find out more about my book, Only Death Can Save Us, over at Indiegogo or just onlydeathcansaveus.com. But like I said, all the links are there at russleach.com.
Excellent. Mr. Glenn B. Fleming.
Yeah, you can find me on the usual places, mainly on Facebook, and you can find all my work, or a lot of my work on Amazon. Just put my name in and you'll find books and magazines I publish. And watch out for my Kirby book and DVD that's going to be launched at the end of February.
Going to be good.
On Indiegogo.
Glenn, I want to show you the documentary that the Russo brothers did, because they hired actors to play like Kirby and Ditko and everything.
Right.
It was very entertaining. I watched all the episodes. It was for QB. There was a quick that was a platform they launched. It was supposed to be like quick, like 5 to 10 minute episodes. It did that app did not take off, but
send me the link.
Yeah. John says, crashing in again. In these types of conversations, artists often talk about writers and that the story simply doesn't exist, and there's a real bottleneck. Writers don't always seem to appreciate the ideas of others just because, please pardon my faint sense of urgent concerns. You know, that's why I write my own stuff. It's weird.
Yeah.
The Variant Queen, Miss Karen Nicole, ma'am, where can you be found at?
I can be found online on all the socials at AZ Power Girl and YouTube at the AZ Power Girl, as well as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, AZ Power Girl everywhere.
You gotta be careful of saying Variant Queen, because I'm Variant Queen.
Oh, well, yeah, there you go. Yeah, Variant, yeah. See, well, we should put the extra T.
And right now you have T, so.
Yeah, it's Variant Queen. I'm Variant.
So I guess, Kara, you have them today.
Yeah, she can just abuse me and send me
I'll
back.
share a little bit.
Varian McQueen.
Yeah,
she can just abuse me and send me back. It's fine. I'll ink and clean up pencil shavers. I'll go get sandwiches for you and Alfred.
Yeah, sandwiches.
Yeah.
So you dabble in photography too, so you could help with that.
Yeah, I can. I can't mess up too bad. Folks, and
I'm
Lola,
looking
where
for
can you
a
be found
channel.
at? Yeah, there you go. Lola, where can you be found at?
Linktree indie_princess, and if you want me to wear something different, go check out my wish list, and whatever you buy, I will wear for the shows.
Careful. That could be dangerous. Folks, that is it for us for the rest of the week. But check out Pictures Be Crazy this Saturday. And also, we're going to be getting ready to announce that All Champions edition very soon. Send in your questions to indievote@indievote.com, and please include IndieVote Live in the subject and keep those emails to 90 words or less so that I can make them and put them on a little card and we can review them. Also, download IndieVote Radio now on Google Play, Amazon. If you have an iOS phone or Apple phone, you can use the TuneIn or Stream app to listen in live. Also, IndieVote TV on your Roku or Roku-enabled device. Check it out. Stream movies. I just added some new content up there, so check that out. Other than that, guys, we are out of here. Thanks for being here with us. It was a great show.
Again.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Hold on. I got you. Hold on, guys. Just a reminder. Use Volt 10 if you want those Gemini mailers and you want a discount.
Yeah, 10%.
And hold on. Go check out all the Indie Volt merch. We got a lot of shirts and more stuff coming, and we also have, it's the only place you can get Sin Killer merch.
Sin Killer, Marvy's properties IP. Very cool. I'll make sure you go over and check that out, folks. Sign up. There's Pops. Pops has an event too. He has a PromCon this week. And is it this weekend, ladies' night?
Yeah.
Have a great weekend, kind of thing this weekend.
Yeah, tomorrow I will be on for ladies' night. It's the first time. It's the first time me and Lola Meets will be together. So you're gonna have Boob Lola and you're gonna have Butt Lola.
I'm out. That's it. We're going. We're out of here. Thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate it.
Everybody.
We'll see you soon.
See you soon.